Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, September 8th, 2014 meeting of Lewis County Board of County Commissioners. We have a quorum. All three commissioners are present. We will begin with the flag salute. Commissioner Schulte, please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I move that we approve the minutes of August 25th, 2014.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public comment. Two people signed up for public comment this morning. Marnie Gunther. Podium. Do we want to move on the proclamations first, or?
Well, let's do public comment first and just let Arnie come up and talk while we do the proclamation.
That sounds good.
I'll call you back up.
We'll call you back up when we do the proclamation. Mike Cody.
Hi, Mike Code, 78 Northeast Washington Avenue, Chehalis. First, thank you for your service to the county. I'm here today to ask some questions about the Microsoft Dynamics program, software program. I understand in 2009 the county authorized the purchase of the Microsoft Dynamics financial software at a cost of $326,000 through the state of Washington. And the same year, the county authorized $788,000 to ASI, a software company, to install the financial software and complete the migration from the county's old financial software to the Dynamics system. I understand in 2013 that the county gave up on the installation and implementation of the Dynamics system and began to evaluate a lawsuit against Microsoft in the state of Washington over the failed software system. But I do see that the county negotiated a hold harmless agreement with ASI over funds paid out on the implementation. So I have some questions about all this, and I hope the commissioners will help me be able to understand what happened here. Here are my questions, and I provided copies to you. Did any part of the Dynamics system actually get installed and operate as it should have? Is any part of the Dynamics software system operational for the county today? Did the county pay more than $1.1 million out on this failed system? Is $1.1 million a lot of money, or is it a drop in the bucket for the county budget? Why did the county negotiate a hold harmless agreement with ASI at the same time the county considered legal action against the state of Washington and Microsoft? And finally, what staff person or county agency was primarily responsible for managing the purchase and migration to the Dynamics financial system software? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve two proclamations. One proclaiming the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and the second one proclaiming the month of September as National Recovery Month in Lewis County.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. And I will read the prostate cancer awareness proclamation into the record. Find it. Before the Board of County Commissioners, Lewis County, Washington, a proclamation proclaiming the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Lewis County. Whereas September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and whereas prostate cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in men, recognizing that while all men are at risk for prostate cancer, African American and Hispanic men have the highest incidence and mortality of prostate cancer in the world. And whereas there will be an estimated 230,000 new cases of prostate cancer nationally in the year of 2014, and there will be over 29,000 deaths from prostate cancer in the same year. About 1 man in 6 will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime, according to the American Cancer Society. And whereas there were 5,690 new cases of prostate cancer diagnosed last year, and an estimated 730 deaths from prostate cancer in Washington State. And whereas the Washington State Prostate Cancer Coalition, along with the US2 Southwest Washington Prostate Cancer Support Group, support with programs and information and materials through their respective organization. It is encouraged that all men have an informed discussion with their healthcare provider about prostate cancer by age 50 and by age 45 if they have a family history of the cancer. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lewis County Commissioners do hereby proclaim the month of September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Lewis County. We ask the community members to recognize the seriousness of prostate cancer. If caught at an early stage, it is perfectly curable. Done in open session this 8th day of September 2014, Board of County Commissioners, Lewis County, Washington. Arnie, would you like to come up?
Excuse me. Thank you very much for recognizing September as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month and for the proclamation. I represent the US2 Southwest Washington Prostate Cancer Support Group, which is now just 6 months old and was started, I guess I'm the catalyst for that, as I shared with you before the meeting started, due to my own experience with prostate cancer that began 2 years ago. Prostate cancer just doesn't get the awareness of some of the other major illnesses. So again, thank you very much. The other thing that I want to mention is Centralia Rotary, which I'm a member of, just hosted the second annual FATE golf tournament, which is Prostate Health Awareness Through Education, this past Saturday. And the money that we raised from that tournament is actually for a free to the public education forum on prostate cancer. That is going to be on September 30 at Centralia College beginning at 6 p.m. So I've got 3 flyers for that I'd like to leave with you, and then also ask if you could share that with people. That would be wonderful. Representatives from Providence Hospital are going to be the excuse me, are going to be the main speakers, and then the draw this year to get guys to actually come and listen, not just guys but families, is Mac Strong is going to be our keynote speaker. Mac is the former Seattle Seahawk fullback that's been retired for a few years now. So I'd like to leave you with these, and again, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to ask that we vote on that motion, these 2 items separately. So I will call for the vote on the proclamation for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in Lewis County. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Arnie.
Arnie, if you have an electronic version of your poster, we could also pass it out that way.
I will send it to Carrie.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Our next proclamation is regarding National Recovery Month in Lewis County. Edna?
Yes. Board of County Commissioners of Lewis County, Washington, proclamation declaring September as National Recovery Month. Whereas behavioral health is an essential part of health and one's overall wellness. And whereas prevention of mental and/or substance abuse disorders works, treatment is effective, and people recover in our area and around the nation. And whereas preventing and overcoming mental and/or substance abuse disorder is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles, both physically and emotionally. And whereas we must encourage relatives and friends of people with mental and/or substance abuse disorders to implement preventative measures, recognize the signs of a problem, and guide those in need to appropriate treatment and recovery support services. And whereas in 2012, 2.5 million people aged 12 or older received special treatment for a substance abuse disorder, and more than 34.1 million adults aged 18 or older received services for mental disorders, according to the 2012 National Survey on Drug Use and Health. Given the serious nature of this public health problem, we must continue to reach the millions more who need help. And whereas, to help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, and Lewis County Public Health and Social Services invite all residents to participate in National Recovery Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim the month of September as National Recovery Month in Lewis County to increase public awareness of behavioral health recovery.
Thank you. My name is Mindy Greenwood. I'm co-owner of Community Allied Behavioral Health. The address is 1787 Northeast Kresge Avenue. We really appreciate you guys doing this. This is the 25th year of Recovery Month. And in Lewis County, we have multiple agencies that have come together to help support this. Community Allied Behavioral Health, otherwise known as CAB, Cascade Mental Health Care, True North Student Assistance to Treatment Services, Molina Healthcare, and Thorbeck's Fit Life are all working together to present a community event on September 13th from 10 to 3. It's for us to celebrate recovery. It's for the community to come together and celebrate those who are in recovery and those who want to get into recovery. So we would appreciate everybody being there. And I do have an electronic form of the flyer that I will forward on to you guys.
Where is this going to be?
Oh, sorry, it's going to be at Riverside Park. So thank you again.
Any further comments on that proclamation? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
I move that we approve the consent agenda, items 3 through 5, resolution number 14-244 through 246.
I second that.
Motion made and seconded. Item number 3 on the agenda, resolution 14-244, is the weekly approval of warrants funded. This week we had 394 regular warrants for payment against the county in the amount of $1,927,929.08.
Good morning, Danette York, Director of Public Health and Social Services. I'm speaking to item number 4, resolution number 14-245, amending policies and rules of the Veterans Relief Fund. So the Lewis County Veterans Advisory Board, they review the rules, policies, and procedures governing both the advisory board and the Veterans Relief Fund, periodically making recommendations to the Board of County Commissioners as appropriate. The policies and rules of the Veterans Advisory Board and the Veterans Relief Fund were last amended by Resolution 10-141 on June 7th of 2010. The Veterans Relief Fund section has additional information to clarify and provide guidelines for administration of the fund. New information includes definitions, administration information, and the appeal process. There are no changes to the section regarding the advisory board. This is just to provide some guidelines on administering funds to people that are in need. Thank you.
Danette, I made a comment to you on this previously, and it seems like we're closing some loopholes, if you will, for assistance. And I'd like you to tell the public how this is funded.
This is through property taxes.
And
it's earmarked specifically for veterans in need. So they have to meet the qualification and definition of a veteran, and that definition is by state statute. And then once they meet that, they also have to meet the need by income and provide documentation to us in order to receive any funds or any relief from these funds. And once they do meet all those qualifications, they are not given any cash. They are provided vouchers for either food, fuel for vehicles, or rental assistance or utility assistance. And if they receive those rent or utility assistance, we pay the landlord or the utility company, and we provide vouchers that they can then cash in at specific stores for gas and food.
And what is the allowance per veteran?
The total allowance per year is $450. And there is a funeral expense in there as well, and that I believe is $300 above and beyond that would help for funeral expenses. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lee Napier, Director of Community Development, speaking on consent item number 5, Resolution 14246, appointing a member to the Lewis County Airport Advisory Board. Mike Gogger, a longtime member of the Lewis County Advisory Board, has resigned, and this is a 7-member board that has been appointed by the Board of County Commissioners to make recommendations to the airport systems manager and to the Director of Community Development. So with Mr. Gogger's resignation, the board has sought individuals who might fill that position, and the advisory board is recommending, they've received a request and is recommending that Daryl Peterson be appointed to the board. So the request before the board is to support that recommendation. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Any further discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, with no further business, I move we adjourn. Oh, we have a hearing.
No, we don't, we have a hearing. Sorry,
Can't adjourn yet.
can't recognize that. We have a hearing this morning on a franchise to Cascade Networks. Motion dies in lack of support.
I won't make that again.
Mr. Runciman.
Larry Enselman, Real Estate Services Manager, speaking to Resolution 14-247 in the matter of a non-exclusive franchise to Cascade Networks Incorporated. This hearing to consider granting a franchise to Cascade Networks would be to construct, operate, and maintain telecommunication facilities on county roads inside Lewis County, but outside of all the incorporated cities and towns. The franchise would replace a franchise that was granted by this board back in 2009, which was for a term of 5 years. This current franchise is also proposed for a 5-year period of time. Cascade Networks builds and owns fiber optic telecommunication facilities and plans to build more infrastructure in the county as needed. Resolution 14-230 passed by this board on August 11th of 2014 set this date, September 8th, 2014, as the date for hearing on the matter. The franchise is being granted pursuant to and in conformance with RCW 36.55 and Lewis County Code 12.25 through 12.50. RCW 36.55 requires that no hearing be held on a proposed franchise until 5 days after the last publication date and 15 days after posting notice in 3 public places. Publication to be twice in the official newspaper of the county. Publication did occur on August 12th and 14th of 2014 in the Chronicle, and the franchise was posted in 3 public places. Affidavits are on file indicating compliance with the posting and publication requirements. The franchise with a 5-year term has been sent to the applicant, Cascade Networks Incorporated, for review, and they have reviewed and have accepted the terms of the franchise and signed the document and returned it to the county. So it's a recommendation of the Public Works Department that this franchise to construct, operate, and maintain telecommunication facilities on all county roads in Lewis County outside of incorporated towns and cities be granted to Cascade Networks.
Thank you, Ray. We begin the hearing now with a
Can I ask a question?
question and answer period.
Under the insurance part, have you run this through our risk manager who now reviews all for language, reviews the language of the insurance portion?
We're working on several franchises at this time, but yes, I believe we have. The insurance requirements are the same as we required on the last one that we issued.
There is new language that needs to be in the insurance portion, and so we've asked that all these franchise and all the different contracts that we sign go through risk, through Paulette, to ensure the right language is in all of these?
I believe it has been, Commissioner, but I can double check that to make absolutely sure that it has.
I see on page 9 of 16, grantee shall furnish the county risk manager with properly executed certificates. So that might be the place you might ask Paulette to look at.
Well, the question is I'm reluctant to vote for that until I know. So I don't know if we can call to have Paulette check to see if she's seen this. Because she said a couple of them got through without being reviewed and having the correct language in it.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't see the correct language here, Larry, that's why
That's why I'm
to
asking.
hesitate. The executed certificates of insurance, which indicate all the insurance requirements, I don't think are part and parcel of this.
We can certainly go back and check. Like I said, we're working on several, and our intent is to put all of them before her, but I don't remember specifically.
There have been very few that for some reason, process-wise, have not been reviewed, and I don't see the right language in this one.
Okay.
I would speak out in support of the franchise agreement conditioned upon the fact that this will be further reviewed by the risk manager for final acceptance. That needs your approval, Commissioner Schulte. Are there any other questions? Any questions from the public? Close the question and answer period and call for the hearing.
There's a question.
And Larry, would you like your previous statement recorded as you're in the hearing itself?
Yes, I would, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we do have a question.
Is this a question or is
I
it
have a question.
statement? Okay, go ahead.
I'm Ron Averill, Centralia area. Appears to me that if we've got a problem in the document with improper language, that it does require then that we table the issue and come back with the appropriate language in it, because this is a public hearing and the content of the document needs to be made available to the public.
Thank you.
Paulette is on her way up.
You want to wrap?
She's on her way up. And she'll tell us whether she's seen it, whether the language is
We'll
correct.
stall out here until the risk manager shows up. Tells us whether we're okay here.
Well, we're stalling out.
Okay.
On behalf of the Lewis County Farm Bureau, we are having our annual meeting on the 15th of October at the Veterans Museum, and we want to invite the commissioners to attend that meeting. As say it is our annual meeting. There is a $15 pay, and the remainder of the cost, because it's a Tina Gardabay dinner, which all of you know is very good, will be borne by the Farm Bureau. So we do offer you an invitation at this time. That's the 15th at 6 p.m.
It's the same day as the OMB dinner, but just to let you know.
Paulette, if you go sit down next to Larry Unzelman and look at that contract to make sure the insurance language is correct and that you've seen it.
If not correct, at least acceptable.
Well, she's looking at it, could make it.
That's 9 of 16 on there.
While she's looking at that, Ed would like to make an announcement.
Yes. For those of you who haven't heard, on Wednesday, we're having historic courthouse open house, since the courthouse was just put on the state and national register. And we'd love to have you come out at 5 o'clock. Retired Supreme Court Justice Gary Alexander's coming, and right after that, we want to take a huge picture down at the north entrance of the courthouse and to replicate the picture that was taken in 1927 when this building was dedicated. As you look around the room, you see some pictures dealing with the Supreme Court, or the Superior Court of Lewis County, and some court cases, some famous court cases, and some attorneys. This was provided by Bob Schroeder, a local attorney, and he uses in the Law and Justice display, and he brought it in here for us to use. So if you have time after the board meeting to come on in and look, it will also be part of our tour with our historic passport that's happening on Wednesday between 3 and 7. Please join us.
Have you reviewed that, Paulette? Have you seen it before, and is it the correct language?
I have not seen this particular one before, and it does not have the language about being as primary contributory addition insured.
Mr. Chair, I then move that we table this until we get the language corrected.
Motion made and seconded to table this hearing, this franchise agreement, until we receive the proper insurance documentation. So I'll call for the vote on that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. So this hearing is closed until future date. Question of procedure to the clerk. Do we have to re-advertise again, a 10-day advertisement on this? To check. So we have to go through the advertising process again. Schedule, we'll have to check and see what our timing is on that. Now you're
Seeing no further business on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
I second that.
motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay.